Hello everybody, my name is Raydark, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own free Minecraft server using Oracle Cloud Hosting. So I'm not on my main channel right now. This is another channel I have, which I'm just going to do some more coding / techie stuff, like this sort of video on this channel. Yeah, just to keep it away from my other videos. So the benefits of using Oracle over something like Aternos is that 1, it's always on, 2, it doesn't display adverts when it's offline, and 3, it isn't just usable for Minecraft. You can do whatever you like on there. So like you could run a Terraria server or something on there if you really wanted to. And it's entirely free, and also you get more memory and more CPU than you would on Aternos. So the first thing we need to do is create an account for Oracle. So you simply just need to go to just Oracle, cloud.oracle.com, and then click on sign up. Okay, so once you've created an account, what you just need to do is click the 3 lines, and then just go to compute instances. And then once you're here, I've already got some instances because this is the one I use for my servers. So all I need to do to make a new instance is click create instance, and then give it a name. I'm just going to call this @server. And so what I need to do now is go to image and shape, click edit, and then for the image change this to Ubuntu, and then do the bottom one, which is canonical Ubuntu 22.04 minimal arch, and make sure it says always free eligible. So just tick that, and you'll see this little message down here. Don't worry about this, click select image. And then if you scroll down, see the box that says shape here has changed to something different. And this is the one you actually want. But if for some reason it does not say VM standard A1 flex, just go in and change it to that. So that's just in here. It's got the same sort of menu as the image one does. So the next thing you need to do is go to add SSH keys, and you need to download both of these. So just click a little tick, and then put this in your downloads, and here, just downloads. So these 2 keys are important that you don't share with anyone. They're like a password effectively. If you have the keys and they have the IP address of your server, they can log into your server and use it. So be careful not to give them to anyone. So now simply just click create. And if it gives an error, just click create again. Also, you might have noticed in the corner it was saying something about £1.60. Just ignore that, it will not charge you any money. So now I've got the server here, @server. And it is provisioning, which means it's being made currently. So you see we've got @server here, which is provisioning now. And you've got the public IP address of this. This is not very important here. The public IP address is the important part. And then you've got the shape and all this. Don't need to worry about most of this. This is the main important part. Obviously I've blurred mine out for security, but you'll be able to see this. So now you should see your server is now set to running. Next thing you need to do is we're going to connect to this server. So now this is running. This will be different depending on what operating system you are. So I'm going to explain how to do it on Linux first, and then how to do it on Windows. So on Linux, go to your home directory and look for the .ssh file. Then, once you're here, you should see a few files in here, but you can just ignore these except config. So in config, what you want to put in here is host and then the name of what you want your server to be called. So I'm just going to call it @server. So this can be different to this one here, it doesn't matter, but I'd recommend doing something similar or the same so you know which one it is. So now you need to make sure that your indent mode is tabulators, so like the tabs rather than for like 4 spaces, so you need to set it to tabs. So the next thing you want to do, say host name, and then here you want to paste this number, which is your IP address, in. Once again, I will be blurring for privacy. And then the next line, you need to say user Ubuntu. So this is the username for your remote server, and if you're using same VM I am, which you should be, it will always be Ubuntu. But if you're doing a different one for some reason, then you'll have to look up which username it is. But for me and most people, it'll be Ubuntu. So now you just want to say identity file as the last one. So we're just going to leave this one for a second. Look in your downloads where you downloaded these two things from Oracle. So this is your public key and your private key. So simply go to .ssh, paste them in, and you should probably rename these to @server, like your server name .key, and then just do the same for the other one, because you know this one's private and you know this one's public, because this one says pub and this one just says key. So after you've pasted this file in, you need to right click this and say properties, permissions, and then here it should say something like this. Then for owner you want to set this to can only view, and then group and others no access. If it looks slightly different to you, don't worry. The important thing is that the owner can only view and everyone else has no access. So now you've got these, you simply need to go back here and then say the auth to this file here. So you should just be able to do copy location here and then paste it in here. And so just do like it will be home, your user, .ssh, and then the name of the key. So then you're basically done with this files for now. So now you want to open the terminal. A nifty little shortcut, if you do Ctrl-Alt-T, it opens a new terminal. And then you want to run SSH, and then the name you put in config. So you want to put this in, which for me is @server. But you can put anything in there. And then you paste it in there, or just type it, and then enter. So now you should be connected to the server. And you see this here is different. This means you are actually on the server. So you are connected to this actual physical computer that's running somewhere else. So you now have root control of this device. So the first thing you want to do is just exit. We don't need to do anything with that yet. So that will log you out of the device and just put you back to your normal computer. Okay, I'll show you how to do this on Windows now. So doing this on Windows is much the same as doing it on Linux. Simply just say new text document and then change the name to config without any endings or anything, just config, yes. So now you want to open this up with Notepad or whatever you want to use. And then simply just say host and then the name you want to call it. I'm going to say @server. Do a new line and then click tab. I'm going to say host name. Then go over to your instances on Oracle and copy the public IP here, paste it in there, then do another new line, another tab, then say user Ubuntu, new line, identity file, and then you want to get the path of this file. So what you need to do here is right click on here, copy address, then paste it here, then do / again, and then copy the name of this file. You can either just type it in or just do rename and then select all. Paste that in there. Now you'll see we open the command prompt and do now you want to do SSH and then the name you put into the config file for host. As you can see here, I put in @server, so I'm just going to say SSH @server. So now you see there's a problem. First of all, bad permissions on this file. That means the permissions on this file are too lenient. So what we need to do is we need to go to properties, security, and then click advanced. You need to say disable inheritance and then the top one. So now what you want to do is delete all of the users that are not you. So this user here is me. The name is server.properties. Remove all of the other users except from me. Then I'm going to click edit on my user, and then on basic permissions here, I want to untick all of them except read and write, and then click OK. Then click apply, and then OK. So now, when we do this command, so now this should have worked, and you should be SSH'd into the server now. If that didn't work, just do the same thing you did to these files onto your private key file. So just say properties, security, advanced, and then change permissions. It should automatically do it for you, but if it doesn't, obviously you can just put that in there. And then OK. So now you've done this, you're on the server. So the first thing I want to do here is actually exit. Okay, so now everyone on Windows is caught up. I'm going to show you how to mount these files. So what this means is that you have remote access of the file system. So not as a terminal, it'll be as like physical files you can interact with, you can paste files in, you can pull them out, and you can actually see all of them there. So once again, I'm going to start with Linux and then do Windows. So how you do this on Linux is fairly simple. What you've got to do is, what I would recommend doing is going to home/bin and then creating a new text file called like mount underscore and then the name of your script, and then quickly go into your home directory and create a new folder called the name of your server. So I'm just gonna say @server, but it's just the name of your server. Just an empty file here, you won't need to do anything with that yet. So just go back to where you were. So now you simply want to open this text file. And it's empty right now, but we're gonna add some stuff. So first thing you want to do, say #bin/bash. So do a new line, and then go on to another new line, and type in /fs, and then the name of the thing you put in the config file specifically, if that is different. So for me that's the same, so that's just @server, and then colon, and then put in the path to where the folder you made in the home directory was. So for me, you can just right click and do copy location and then paste it in. So this will once again be home/user and then @server for me. So now save this, exit out, and so now you've got yourself a bash script here. Okay, so now with this bash script, you need to right click properties, permissions, and then click is executable, and then OK, and then you should be able to just type after restarting your terminal mount underscore at server, or whatever yours is called, and this should in theory take all of the files that were available to you when you SSH'd in using that command before, and it will put them into this file. And this is not just a copy of those files, those are actually those files. And you can edit them, and it will actually edit the version that's on the remote server. So let me just enter. And then as you can see, if I refresh this file by clicking F5, all of this stuff has just appeared. This is stuff that's actually on the server. Obviously none of this stuff is relevant at the current moment. Okay, so once you've got your mount at server, or whatever your server's called file here, we can add this to your auto start. So as you're on Linux, you should just be able to search like on KDE it's auto start, but it might be like startup application, startup, anything like that. So then you can just go to here, open this up, and then there'll be a little area for login scripts, and you can simply click add login script, or something similar on other distributions, and then simply find the file which is in and then here, that, and it will run this command when you log in, just automatically. And so I'll show you how to do it on Windows now, using a slightly different method. Okay, so I'm back on Windows, and I'm going to be showing you how you mount your server. So I'm just saying, I'm going to mention some stuff later in the video about mounted servers and stuff. For you, the Windows person, I am just talking about what I'm going to show you now, which is FileZilla. They basically work the same once you've set it up, so just think of it as the same thing. So the first thing you want to do is download FileZilla. So you can simply just search FileZilla, go to this website, filezilla-project.org, download FileZilla client, and then it should have auto-selected Windows, but if it for some reason hasn't, just click on this icon. Then download, click the first one rather than all of these ones, you don't want these. Download, and then now it should have downloaded. You can close this tab now, and this download, you should now open this file. So once you've downloaded and installed the file, this installer will come up. You need to click I agree, and then leave this here, next. So click I agree, next, next, and then unless you want to change this, it should also be fine. Next one, next, and then it will be installing the file for you now. And then just simply click finish, and it should automatically open up FileZilla unless you specify it otherwise. So just click OK here. So now I'm going to show you how to mount the file. So what is this? Basically, what this lets you do is have a kind of view of the file system on the remote device. It's not just a copy, it actually is the file system. Though you can edit the files, you can copy them off, you can paste stuff on, and it will actually update on the server. This is extremely useful for like downloading server software, or like just Minecraft servers and stuff. It's much better than having to mess around with the terminal and things. So now what you want to click on this icon in the corner with the 3 servers, open site manager, and then say new site. And then you want to rename this something. I'm just going to say at server for simplicity's sake. Enter. So on the right here, you want to change this protocol to say SFTP. host, you want to copy in this IP. Ignore the port for now. Login type, key file. User, say Ubuntu. And then for the key file, click browse. And then look in your .ssh file. And then you'll see there appears to be nothing in here. What you need to do is click on this that says ppk and swap it to all files. And then select this key, not .pub, the private one again. And it should have added there. And you can change the background color if you want. I'll just go yellow. Oh no, I'll go green. And then click OK. If you want FileZilla to remember passwords, you can do this. I do not want that, so I'm just going to say do not. But you can if you want to. You can say OK. So now what you want to do is you want to go back into this tab and say connect. So this will pop up. All you need to do is click always trust as host, add this key to cache, and then click OK. And you'll see on the right side some files have appeared. These are not copies of files, these are the files that are on the server. Here, these are here. So you've now gained access to them. You might have a little less files than I have because I've already put some stuff on. So you can just ignore them. And yeah, that's how you set up on FileZilla. For the rest of the video, I'm going to be talking about mounting files and stuff. That just means FileZilla when I'm talking about that. So if I say drag the Minecraft file into the mounted file, I just mean drag it from this side into this side. Because this is your home, and this here is the server. So you can drag items over. Okay, so now what you want to do is open your Minecraft launcher, and then click installations, latest release, click the three dots, edit, and then click on this little button here that should be here. Click on this. This will open a link to a website that downloads a file for you called server.jar. So if I didn't want to use the latest version, I can simply create a new installation launcher, then pick the version I want, which is 1.2.5, release, and then I click download server. I have a different server.jar for 1.2.5, so now this could be a 1.2.5 server. I'm not gonna do that personally, but you can, so pretty cool. So now you've got this downloaded here. So now what I'd recommend doing is, so you can keep track of what version this is, rename this from server.jar to server-1.20.1, which is the version I'm on. Just rename it to the version you're on, .jar, and so just click enter and it should rename for you there. So now cut this file and move it over into the mounted file and simply paste. And this file, you may see it takes quite a while. That is because it is transferring over the internet over to this remote server, which, may I add, got 6 gigs of memory for free. Anyway, so once this file is pasted in, you want to do a few commands here. So you want to SSH into the server. First thing you want to do when you're on the server is type sudo apt update. Yes, type sudo apt update, and this will update everything on your computer. So now you want to say sudo apt upgrade as well, and then click Y. So all this is doing is updating everything on the computer, and this will just make sure that you can install everything later and everything's all up to date. And then you want to type sudo, which basically means like high permissions. If you're saying sudo, you tend to need a password, but because we are a root operator, which means we're the highest rank of operator on this device, we don't need a password when we do sudo commands. Sudo overwrites other stuff. So if you say sudo, you can do anything, effectively. So you say sudo apt install. So this is a way of installing stuff from the command line, which is at, and you want to install tmux -y. So tmux is a very good program for kind of putting programs that are running in little containers that you can then access and see. So our Minecraft server will be running inside of a tmux area thing. I don't know how to describe it. And that will let us be able to see it whenever you want. We can just kind of look at it, and we'll be able to look at the console and type stuff into the console. And tmux is generally a really good thing. So -y, what that means is just say yes to everything it asks us. So it'll ask us a few things like, oh, do you want to install this and this? -y just says, yeah, we do. And now all this stuff should appear, and then just when it says which services should be restarted, just click enter, and then boom, it's done. So the next thing you want to install is Java. So what you want to say for here is open jdk-17-jre -y. So we're doing the same command as before, but instead of installing that, we're installing JDK17, which is the newest long-term stable version of Java. This video might become outdated in the future, so another version of Java might become the stable version or something, but at the current time, this works fine. Just click enter, and this will download a bunch of stuff. So once this command's done, you can minus this for a second, and then go back to your mounted file, and create 4 new files, text files, and just call them launch.sh, start-server.sh, connect to server.sh, finally another one called stop-server.sh. So now select all of these and say open with your text editor of choice. And then we'll start off with launch.sh. So in here you want to type # /bin/bash. Here I'd recommend just copying this and putting it in all of the files because they all need it. Then just save all of the files. And so back to the original one. In here you want to say cd $home, which is just the home directory of the computer. So if that ever changes, it will just know. So on the next line, you want to write Java -x mx 5000 m, and then the same thing, but the second x is an s. And then you want to say -jar server.1.20.1 or whatever you set the name of your server to be. I set as that, obviously. And then Nugi. So let's break down this command. The first word, Java, just means the command that's for running Java programs, and as you probably already know, Minecraft Java Edition is, contrary to popular belief, written in Java. And so is the server. What the second lines mean is slightly more interesting. What this is allocating how much memory it is allowed to use. So, as you can see here, on the Oracle thing, you have 6 gigabytes of memory here. I'm and 5000 M is basically equivalent to 5 gigabytes, sorry, because it's 5000 megabytes. The reason I've said 5000 rather than 6000 is because if for some reason the server needs to do something else as well as Minecraft, like running some background programs, it might extremely lag your server as it tries to convert disk space into memory, which is very slow. I'll tell you that. And so the reason there's 2 of these is because the first one is for how much memory it initially starts with, and the second one is for how much memory it has when it's running. This just means it's running a jar file rather than just a .java file or a .class. Jar files are just packed up lots of class files, which are basically Java files, all packed up into one little package, and this just says it's a jar file you're running. This is obviously the name of the jar file, and no GUI means no GUI. It doesn't display anything, it's just console output. Then now you've done that, you can simply save it. And then the next script is start server.shush. So now you want to say, after the first line, tmux new -s Minecraft. You can set it to something else, but you need to change this in all of them. I'll explain that once I've written all the scripts, but you can change that, but I'd recommend just saying Minecraft, unless you're going to have multiple Minecraft servers running on one device. And then say $home/launch.shush. So what this line of code does is it creates a new tmux session, which is one of those little boxes I was talking about, and runs this script here, launch.shush. So this Java program is now running inside of a tmux box, basically. So the next script is connect to server.sh here. So all this is tmux attach -t Minecraft. So this is fairly simple. All it's saying is attach to the tmux box. So attach means just like look at you can view the console now. Attach to the tmux box that is Minecraft. So the next script stop server.shush. I want to say tmux send keys -t Minecraft double quotes stop enter. What this means is send key inputs to the Minecraft box, stop, and then click enter. So what that does is stops the server, because in a Minecraft server, if you type stop and then click enter, then it stops the server. So that's the way it does it. And that's a safe way of doing it because it gives time for the server to shut down itself. So the next thing you want to do with these files is just move them to somewhere where you can just do them. So I'm just going to make a little folder, just like make a little folder here. And then what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to go to properties, permissions, and then tick is executable. And if you select all of them, it'll just do that. So now I want to go back to my server, paste them back. So now they should work if you just do /launch.shush, and it should be running your Minecraft server now. So it's finished running, but it's stopped here, and you'll see it says failed to load euler.txt. you need to agree to the EULA in order to run the server. So what you need to do is refresh this file, and you see there's a bunch of new files here. These are all Minecraft files. So this text file, eula.txt, you simply need to open this, set this to true, close it again, and then /launch.sh again. So you'll see here it's starting to generate a world here, and that's why it just says 0% over and over. So once it's finished generating here, you can simply see that in your file now there is should be a file here after you refresh called world. This is your world. It's generated it now. So unfortunately you won't be able to join yet because we haven't done anything that lets you join. So the next thing I'm going to show you what to do is this server.properties file. This is all of the properties of your Minecraft world. So I'll just cover the important ones here. So level seed is the seed of the world. If it's left blank, it is random, and then obviously you can set it something. If there's already a world file that exists, you need to delete that before you can change the seed. So if I wanted the seed to be, I don't know, that, I would save that, go back here, stop this server. So you can stop it by either using the script or just typing stop. Simply stop it there, wait for it to finish saving, and then if you delete this world file now, and then launch it again, it will generate with a different seed, which is the one I put in here. So the next one is game mode, and this is just a default game mode the player spawns in with. Yeah. Enable command block, that's just if command blocks are enabled. Level name, this is the name of the file that contains world, so it's just world. If you want that to be different for some reason, you can do that, but there's no point. method, now this is a cool one. If I open up my Minecraft here, you can see Hypixel is a good example of a server that it's got this little text here. This is what the method is. So it's a really good way of creating methods. If you go to this website, mctools.org/method-creator, you can create your very own message of the day, which can be anything you like. So I'm just going to say some sample text I'll put in just to show you how you can do all the different things using this website. So you can have colours, you can have bold, you can have obfuscated, which is spinny things. I mean, they're not really spinny, they're like changed character. And so yeah, you can basically customize this however you want. Very nice and easy. Yep, so I've just made this pretty simple thing. If you tick this box that says center lines, it will center lines. So now all you can do is just paste this in here. Do note if you center lines, you need to add an extra backslash before all of these spaces here, or Minecraft will delete them. And then this is just a cool little thing you've got here. Next thing you need to worry about is generator settings. This is like if it's super flat or amplified or anything like that. They can all be changed there. PvP, if PvP is enabled or not. Generate structures, if generate structures is enabled or not. Difficulty, just a difficulty. Max players, this is the maximum amount of players who are allowed on your server. So online mode, this is a bit of a weird one. If online mode is false, players do not have to have a legit Minecraft account to join the server. So they could use cracked or basically free Minecraft accounts that aren't legal. So if you want people with non-legit Minecraft accounts on your server, you can turn that off, but it also means that like bots and stuff can in theory join if you don't have whitelist on. The next one is allow flight. That's pretty self-explanatory. Is flight allowed? No, yes. View distance, how far you can view. This overwrites your render distance here. Allow nether, if the nether is enabled or not. Server port. Now this is another important one. What we've got here is the default Minecraft Java bot. And that means if someone is trying to join your server, they don't have to specify the port. They can just type in the address of your server and it will join. So that's what most servers use, like Hypixel, whatever. But if you want your server to be a little more secure, you can use a non-default port, but everyone joining will have to specify what ports they are trying to join. What port is on a web address or something. There are lots of different ways, different kind of little. Imagine the port is like where boats come in and out. Every single port is connected to one country, but boats can go individually to each one. That is basically how ports work. And this is the default one Minecraft Java uses. So if you put nothing, it will try to join this one. Simulation distance, how far simulation distance is, once again overwrites. Hardcore, if hardcore is enabled, yes or no. Whitelist, if whitelist is enabled or not. I would recommend not changing it here, but changing with in-game Minecraft commands. Spawn NPCs, do NPCs like villagers spawn in the world. Spawn animals, do animals spawn in the world. Enforce whitelist. This is one of the reasons I say just use the in-game commands, because it's really annoying to mess with them in this file. Spawn monsters. Do you spawn monsters or not? Spawn protection. How big of an area around 0, which is the spawn point, can players mine blocks? So usually this is 16, so that means 16 blocks around the spawn, so basically a chunk, cannot be broken by the player unless they have higher op level than op level 1. And then the last one, max world size. The max world size. That's all of them. So the next thing I need to show you how to do is opening ports. And this is how you are allowed to connect to the server. So what you want to do is you want to go back to your Oracle website here. So once you're back in, simply click on your server, and now we are going to open the ports on this. So this lets the people connect to your server, basically. So what you want to do now is scroll down, go to attached VNix, I don't know. Click on subnet, with some numbers behind it. And then click on default security list. So I have some stuff here because I've already got servers here. What you want to do is click add ingress rules. You will have some stuff here. You'll have like these ones maybe, but you won't have these ones. So what you want to type in here is you want to leave the source type how it is, and then you want to type 0.0.0.0/0, and then for source port range you want to leave blank. For destination port range you want to set, so if you're using the default Java port, just do 25565, which is the default Java port. But if you're using a different port for security, don't put that, put a different one. So the description, you can add a little description. I'm just going to say like at server port. This description is simply just so you know what that ingress rule means. So now, though these ports are open, they are not open on the firewall. because Oracle devices automatically have a firewall. So what you want to do now is do sudo apt install firewall d -y. Firewall d is a useful program for accessing and editing firewall commands. So what you want to do is say, now you got this installed, you want to say sudo firewall -cmd -zone equals public permanent spelling -add-port equals, and then type in the port you want. So the port I want is obviously 25565, but just put in the port you want for your server, which, yeah, if you want it different, /tc. So now you've typed this in. I made a mistake, you need to do 2 minuses here. It should say success. So now what you want to do is, just to make sure it's actually worked, do sudo reboot. So this will restart your VM entirely. So it will kick you out to start off with, but you can still see its progress. If you go back to where your instances are, you can look at the status of this server, and I think it started up again now. So now you can just sh at server, and you'll be back in. So now the port is open, you want to start the server back up. This time don't use launch.shush, do start server.shush. This will open it in tmux rather than just in plain Java. So this means you'll be able to retrieve it from that box I was talking about. So I'll click enter. So now the server's back up, you'll actually be able to join this time. So as you can see here, this is the IP address of the machine. Here, sorry. Obviously I've blurred mine. So just click the button that says copy, and then open up your Minecraft, and I'll show you how to join. So now your Minecraft is opening. You can simply click multiplayer, and then click either add server or direct connection. I'm just going to do direct connection because I'm not going to use this more. And then just paste in the IP address. And then if you're using a custom port, you will need to do this, where you say colon, and then the port you're using. Obviously I'm just using the default Java port, so I don't need to do that, and I can just join fine. But if you are using a custom port, what you have to do is say colon and then the port you're using. So I'm just using that one, so I don't actually need to do this, but if you are using a different one, just do a colon and then the port, and then you can still join it because I have the default port, so that doesn't matter. Well, this is quite a nice area. So if you can't join, then the firewall command probably didn't work or something. So you need to double check you've done all those commands right. So now join the server, and then go back to your terminal, and you'll see your username join the game. So now what you want to do is you want to type op, then your username. My username, as you probably already know, is Rayduck299. Enter. So now you'll see made Rayduck299 the server operator. That means I've cheated now, so I can just go into creative. So first thing I'm going to do is do /whitelist on. So this saves you having to manually change all of the stuff in the file. So now what you want to do is add yourself to the whitelist by doing whitelist add your username, and then to double check you've actually been added, just do whitelist list, and then you are there. So if you want to add other people, simply just type in their username. They don't even have to be online. So now though this works, this is a bit of an annoying way to do it. Like, who's going to remember an IP address? So the way we're going to do it is better. So we are going to set up a free domain name now. So this is a website that will tell people trying to join it to go to your Minecraft server, basically. So if you look at this is a website here, so it'll be like that. Obviously it will not be that, but it'll be a bit different. It's not what you want to do, is you want to go to freedns.afraid.org and then go to that. So now you want to click this to sign up for free and then create an account. So once you've made an account, click this on the sidebar, subdomains, and then this should come up. If something else comes up, simply just click it again. I mean, sometimes there's a dog eating a progress bar, I don't know. Anyway, so click add here, and then this is making you a free subdomain here. So now you want to type the name there. I'm just going to say @ and then here what you want to do is you want to ignore chickenkiller.com and you want to say many more available. Click on that, and then click shared domain registry. So now you can simply search for what kind of thing you want. So obviously they won't have exactly what you want. These are websites people have bought, so these belong to people, but they've made an agreement. So basically they get these domains for very cheap, but they're still paying money for them. But anyone can make a free subdomain of them. So that's what we're gonna do. I think I'll just do something to do with Minecraft, because there are quite a lot of here, so if I just search Minecraft, there's a fair amount of Minecraft ones, so... Or maybe I'll do something about server, you know? So make sure you select one that says public rather than private. I think I'll just go for this one, as it's simple, and then you just have to retype this in again. So now you want to type in your IP address, which you can then copy up here, paste in here, and that's your IP address. So what you want to do here is then complete the captcha. These ones are really hard. Okay, so as you can see down here, this is my server that exists now. So if I were to click on this, if I were to go to this, @server.properties.com, it doesn't, there's nothing here. That's because it's not a website. Now what's even cooler is if I copy this and simply go here, direct connection, or no, actually add server here, and then just paste it in here, done, and then just put this up a little bit, and you can see my servers here now. Do mention this cannot be capitalized at all, I love that. This is fine though, so just click join, and it's the same server you were on before. Pretty nice. So now you can just do whatever you like on the server. I can, like, go sliding around. Whee! So obviously if you've got a different port, you just do the same, but instead of IP address, you just do that. So I can just do 2265, and then that's the port I'm using. And then I can just join back. Pretty simple. And I'm back here on sliding on the ice. The last thing you need to do to finish setting up your server is simply place a file called server-icon.png in your directory. Obviously it needs to be PNG in your server directory, and then it needs to be exactly 64 by 64, but except from that it can be anything. This is the one I use for my server. So yeah, that's the last thing. So your server's now basically completely set up. I can join this, I can play in it, I can do whatever I like. I can go on a boat and slide around. So yeah, so this is just a vanilla server you've made now. If you want to use a modded or plugin server, I'll show you how to do that now. But if not, that's the end of the video for you. So bye to all the vanilla people. So now all of the boring people have left. Thank goodness. You can then just simply stop the serve by typing in stop or using the /stop command. If you're using Linux, you may have noticed your mounted file is now empty. Simple. All you need to do is go out of the SSH and type in mount _ server or whatever you did, and then just refresh this. All your stuff is here again. So what you want to do now is, if I want to use a plugin or modded server, so I want to use a Fabric server, which is a mod loader. So I just go to fabricmc.net, and then I can download here. And so this will work for any mod pack you want to use. So you don't want to click here, you want to click Minecraft server. If you're using Fabric, this is just for Fabric. And then you can just download, and then download that into your home. Do not try to download it onto the mounted file or it will break. So now you can just delete the vanilla file there, pretty simple. Paste it in. Either you can rename it from a really long name, or I'm just going to put this into the log. You need to make sure you change the script if the name has changed, but you can just set it to the old name if you want to. So just paste this in there, and it should all work fine. So now if I start the server, you will notice that it looks a little different. This wasn't here before. That is because we're now using a Fabric server. Okay, so now the server should go up. As the world is already generated, it won't take very long, and then you can simply just join it. And so this is now running on Fabric. If I click F3, I can see Fabric server. Pretty simple. Yeah, so... But the thing with Fabric is, what's the fun of Fabric if there aren't any mods? So you should see it's generated a mods folder here. So what you want to do now is simply stop the server again. And then in here, you can put whatever mods you want. So as an example, I'm just going to put in the create mod. Simply just find the mods you want. I want create. So the thing with these is you need them on both your client and anyone else's client, whoever is playing on the server, as well as the server. So before you download it, this is for Fabric more than Forge or other mod loaders. Most Fabric mods require Fabric API or other dependency mods, so just make sure you've got that. You can just download the mod folder if mods you want, and then just copy it over into this mods folder. Simple as that. You will also need this on your client, as I said. So simply just go to, if you don't already have Fabric Loader installed, you can install it. And then in your .minecraft you should have a mods folder, and you can just paste it in here. So once you've got it in your client as well, just start the server again and it should load the create mod. So once the server's loaded up, you should be able to join. I don't have the right mods on currently. So yeah, I don't have the right mods on currently. So it will give me an error. So what you want to do is you want to close Minecraft and then reopen it once you've put the mods in. If there are any conflicts, you will simply just need to swap them out. So once Minecraft loaded, you will be able to just join my server. if you've got the correct mods, you'll just be able to join. Pretty simple. And now I'm here, so this may look the same, but it's actually different, because I'm now in the create mod. I go to the second tab. I have all of these various create accessories that are not accessible in vanilla Minecraft. Wow, that's big. So yeah, that's how you do mods. Plugins is much the same. I'll quickly show you how to do that now. Simply stop the server, and then once again, go back to your mounted file. Here. Delete this. Don't need this anymore if you're going to go for a plugin server. Go find your plugin server of choice. I'll just use PaperMC for this one because it's simple and easy to install. So just download paper, that, take this file, go back to here, paste it in. So once it's finished, you can simply copy the name again. Go back to your launch script and change it to make sure that it will actually run. And now we want to remove this mods folder, we won't be needing it, and then start the server again, and it should work. I should add paper specifically makes your world files a little weird. It splits the 3 dimensions into different worlds, so just be careful of that. So while it's downloading, we could download some plugins. So I'm gonna download this plugin, Spleef plugin, and plugins folder should have been generated here. Yeah. Paste this in here simply, and I just want to stop this server and start the server up again, and this will now load this plugin I have just downloaded. Now you can see, I should be able to join this plugin server. So now I'm back on the server, but you can see the plugin's loaded. So in theory, I should be able to play some Spleef. So if I say /plugins, you can see it's there. Spleef. I don't actually know how to use this plugin, so I'm just going to slide around a bit on the ice. Whee! So while I'm doing a little bit of sliding here, I want to talk to you about something else. Some plugins, such as Dynamap or Geyser MC, require you to open more ports so they can be viewable. And I'll quickly show you how to do that. So I'm just going to quickly download Dynamap here. Just put this into the file here and make sure I stop the server. So now we need to start the server again because we need to let Dynamap generate its own config file, which I'll show you how to use. Meanwhile it's doing that, if you want to use the paper config file or similar, you can simply look in there's quite a few files that will be in the home directory. Open it up with the text editor. There's all this stuff in here you can change, and so some plugins will have their configs inside of their files which are in the plugins tab, such as Dynamap. So just go to configuration.txt. You can see this is the Dynamap of my other world, which I've already set up. Yeah, so that's basically how you do most things, and that's how you set up your own server. Thanks for watching and bye.